I have 6 years of experience in the IT industry. Okay, and coming to Ruby on Rails, I have 5 years of experience. 5 years of experience on that. Um, Presently, I'm working with Infinity Solutions in Hyderabad location, and I have 6 years of experience. Right now, I'm a project lead. Right now, I'm a project lead in my company. Okay. So coming to rightly, I'm coming. I will come to point. We will discuss about Ruby on Rails. Okay. See what is Ruby on Rails. Why we have to go with the Ruby on Rails. Those are the 2 points we should have to discuss right now. Okay. See what is Ruby. It is a normal programming language like C language and Java language, PHP. That's it. But what is the specific reasons why we have to go with the Ruby on Rails? Today I will discuss those things. See, first thing, Ruby is the programming language, as I told you. It is created by Match. The full name is Matsumoto. Okay, simply called as Match. Before 20 years back, he developed this Ruby programming language. One is the interesting thing is this Ruby is his college project. His college project. Why he invented Ruby means um, he said he thought like on the time we should have to create fully object-oriented programming structure. That's why the Ruby came to picture, and he submitted the project to the lecturers, and they accepted this thing. And likewise, it is developed. Okay, it is just like a C and Java language, as I told you earlier. Okay, so if you know the Java we have different types of steps. One is core Java, then advanced Java, then frameworks. Likewise, the core part of the Ruby on Rails is the Ruby. Okay, and the framework of Ruby is the Rails. So there is two different things. The Ruby on Rails is a not only one word; it's a two words. Okay, one is Ruby, and the Ruby framework is Rails. Okay, what is the difference between this Ruby and Rails? The Ruby will useful for writing the business logic. Whatever you are thinking to write some business logic, we can go with the Ruby. And coming to Rails, when you want to create one dynamic web application, see, Rails is a framework for building the websites like dynamic web applications. Like if you want to some examples, like if you take the Twitter, that is purely developed through Ruby itself, Ruby on Rails itself. Okay, that is the best example we can discuss right now. So everything, see, if you take the Facebook, if you take the Twitter, this Facebook is fully developed with the PHP code, and the Twitter is fully developed with the Ruby on Rails. Okay, but why we came to Rails apart from PHP we have? See, in Rails the code is very fast. How means we can discuss later, but it is true. The code is very fast. The syntax is a normal English language. That means we can easily understand the keywords, the method names. We can easily understand. That's the very best point in Rails and Ruby. Okay, the next thing is Ruby on Rails is a fully object-oriented programming structure. That means everything is an object here. Suppose, by example, if you take the value 10 in any programming language, that value 10 is called value itself. But in case of Ruby, that is an object. That is what special in the Ruby on Rails. So, and this thing is very easy. How to develop the application with the Ruby on Rails is very easy. I will give you an example. Suppose if you want to create one login application like Gmail. Okay. Suppose if it is take 1 month of time while by creating with our Java application, you can't imagine we can develop that same application within 3 days with Ruby on Rails. We have a lot of functionalities available in this Ruby on Rails, and no need to write heavy code. Already lot of gems available. We should have to reuse those things, but you should have to know where, what, why I have to use those gems. That is what I will explain you in future. So finally, the main point is, first point is the Ruby on Rails. The Ruby is the fully object-oriented programming structure. And the one more important thing is it is an open source. Everybody can use. There is no billing system in Ruby on Rails. Everything is free. That's why a lot of startups will go. The lot of startups choice is only Ruby on Rails. Why? Because there is no billing system. Everything is free. So the second point is it is an open source. The third point is um, it's an object-oriented programming structure. I already told you, right? Um, we can. I already told you, right? Just like it is a every syntax is just like an English language. Everybody can understand these things. The next point is it is satisfy the dry system. Dry system in the sense DRY, don't repeat yourself. That means if you write some code, if it is useful for another application, that means another program in the same application, then we can reuse that. There are a lot of methods like helpers, those things we can discuss later. But dry concept is will satisfy, like don't repeat yourself. That is the fourth point. The fifth point is conventional and configuration. That means we no need to configure any database and any server while creating the Rails application. That is, when you created one Rails application in our system, it will automatically configure the database. It will the default database, and it will automatically configure the web server also. So those are the default web server and default database. The default database is SQLite 3 and the default web server is WebClick. So when you want to run one application in the server with Java or with PHP, we should have to write lot of configuration files like XML, JSON like that. But in case of Ruby on Rails, when you given one simple command, then it will automatically create the application and it will automatically configure the things like default database like SQLite 3 and default web server like WebClick. So we no need to bother about the configuration. The fifth point is the configuration and convention. So these are the main features of Ruby on Rails. Okay, and in this my in my classes, I will discuss the topics like each and every topic with real-time example. Definitely. Why? Because I have 6 years of experience. If you observe my GitHub, I have 250 projects till now. I developed with students itself. Okay, those are projects are belongs to me itself. Okay, every topic should have the real-time example. And if I complete the one topic, I will give the assignment for that. If you didn't get that output, I will explain those things definitely. And knowledge guide, that part is sure. And real-time project, any real-world example or new invention. Like when I completed Ruby topics, we will go to Rails. On the time, I will start the one project with your idea, with my idea, whatever it is. We will start one project, then you will easily get some idea about what is the real-time things are going on. Everything pin to pin will be explained like that. Next, interview questions. The interview questions very important. If you, I will give 160 interview questions for you. I will provide those things. If you go through that one, you can face any type of interviews like that. Next, Ruby on Rails ebook. Personally, I written one ebook for Ruby on Rails. That is the edition one. I only written the thing. Every example is cleared. Okay, so I will provide that book also. And online support, if it is required, definitely I will give at any time. So these are the topics. First, I will for Ruby, I will take 15 days, 10 to 15 days. For Rails, I will take 20 days like that. These are the my course content, and these are the simple plus demo. So, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, I think okay. We will discuss some more bit. Like I already told you, right? Everything is an object in Ruby on Rails, right? Suppose coming to installation, how to install the Ruby? No, I already told you there is not much of configuration files required. Just you can go to the Google, just you can type like Ruby installer for Windows. So directly you can download this thing. Presently we are using Ruby 2.2.2. Last year April only this is launched. Sorry, this year April only this is launched 2.2.2. So directly you can download this thing, and if you click on this one, automatically it will be installed in our particular system. But it is Windows. But if you able to work on Ubuntu, that is very helpful for me and you too also. Why? Because in real time, lot of people will prefer the Ubuntu or Linux itself only. So the both are same itself. But if you want to go with the Windows, there will be a lot of problems and lot of configuration problems will be go on. But anything, but I will set up those things. You people have the choice with that. But Ubuntu is the perfect one for the Ruby on Rails. You can click on OK. I accept the license, and next, these are executable files for Ruby. Install the thing. So it will automatically install the Ruby 2.2.2. This is the simplest project, simplest process for our Ruby installation. Okay, finish the thing. So when we installed one Ruby software, we will get one command prompt like IRB, interactive Ruby. So this interactive Ruby is nothing but for testing some commands from Ruby keywords, testing some Ruby keywords in this IRB. Okay, like suppose we have some methods like some function, some keywords like length, sort. Those things will be examined over this interactive Ruby. Okay, so I already told you everything is an object, right? So this 10 is actually the 10 is the value of in any other language, but in case of Ruby, it is in value. How can we it is an object? How can we prove that this thing means? Suppose it is a value, right? I told you it is an object. How can we prove that means? Suppose you 10 dot class, it will give fixed num. So this object is belongs to fixed num class. So likewise, everything in depth. If you want to learn in depth, I will explain everything clearly and with examples also. Okay, I will discuss another interesting point. See, if you observe this thing, everything is object in the sense the fixed num also should be an object, right? Definitely. So we can see that one also. Fixed num dot class. So the fixed num is belongs to class. So everything is an object in the sense we should have to know class is which object, which class object. So class dot this will be super class, just like a super junior, super senior like that. So it is a module object. So what is a module object? Dot class. It's a class object again. Sorry, we should have to give super class. So it's an object of object. So what is an object of object? So a little bit interesting thing is basic object. Well, what is a basic object of object? Sorry, we should have to give superclass again. Nil. So the higher point is the basic object. So don't think very too much about these things. It is a very depth concept. Okay, I will explain clearly one by one what this is very inner is a very inner topic. So the Ruby started with nil. Then after they created one superclass like a basic object. Then after they created one superclass like a object. Then after module. Then after class. Then after fixed num. Then after value. This is the hierarchy. So this is a little bit lengthy concept, but while I'm discussing with the things like whatever the concept in the Ruby, it will becomes very easy. We can't imagine, oh, this much of easy of Ruby we are learning like that. So coming to course content also, what are the topics I will discuss? Like this is the course content. So Ruby overview of Ruby just environment, how to install the environment like that. Next syntax of Ruby, classes, variables, operators. So these things are the Ruby concepts. But coming to the what is the main features of this Ruby? That means it is a blocks. This is the new concept and modules. This is very important concept. Everything is dependent on module. So and ranges. These ranges and these modules and these blocks are new concept of Ruby. When you compare with any programming language, these topics are very new to programming language. So we will discuss those things. And coming to Rails, so Rails is fully different topic. You can play with the Rails. You can't imagine how simple Rail application is. Okay, everything will be discussed in this here. So it will follow the MVC architecture like a model view controller. So we have different methods like render, link to very simple concepts we have. But you should have to have some knowledge on, not perfect knowledge. If it is having of knowledge of like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, it is very fine. Why? Because we are developing the web applications, right? So you should have to know what is going on with the front end also. So if some priorities came to picture, we can definitely understand what is the business logic we written with the Ruby. But in case of HTML, here we can write HTML code and Ruby code combinedly in one file only. So that is very interesting. But you should have to know what is this HTML tag will useful for this application. Yeah, for basic concept, I will tell you. But if you have some knowledge on these things, that is very helpful for you and me also. So by me means we can definitely easy to understand everything like styling CSS you should have to know, and the users how to create a users like suppose if you want to log in with our application, we want some users, right? So for that and database technology, how to use database and so many things we have to discuss. And I already told you that I will explain one project. See, while creating, I am creating the project by using these concepts only. So definitely you will get some lot of knowledge. I hope that, and I will deploy the application in web server also. So if I deploy it here, you can access that URL in your place throughout the world, any place. I will discuss on that also, and I will discuss GitHub also. Why? Because that is the repository. So version control we should have to discuss on the GitHub and Heroku. It's a very important concept. I will discuss on that, and yeah, that's it for demo right now. If all things are going fine, we will discuss more from next class. Thank you so much for this opportunity uh, for OPT or Career Maker. Thank you so much.